Folks, this is what I call a hub call. And let me just admit Patrick, who is just joining now. This is a call where we get in with my team in Fresno, California. We talk about what's going on in my portfolio, my projects. We talk about what's going on in the Fresno market. We talk about all the people that we want to help in Fresno. By doing that, we hope you learn from us and you take the lessons learned across the country, if not the world. Ty, since you're in the upper left-hand corner, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I want to say that this is a great time. I'm excited about all the projects we're doing. I just want to say it straight up. Realtors, real estate agents, if you're studying for your license, we want you at the hub. Michael and I are working on a lot of different special things along with Adam as well. And we're going to put it together a master class series on creative financing specifically for realtors and real estate agents, real estate professionals in the Fresno marketplace. This is a one-off. It'll be a 5 or 6 week series. We're probably going to do a live event at the end or kind of something like a meetup, but we are looking for realtors at the hub. So if you have any interest, I'm going to put my email here in the corner. It's ty@tylg.com, ty@tylg.com. And like Uncle Sam, we want you. We want you. If you're a one rental at a time community member and you're a realtor, you need to come and take a test drive with us. Come, let's talk. Let's see what we can do to help you grow your business.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm glad you went there, Ty. One of the things I sent Ty over the weekend was, Ty, we've got to get more people at the hub. We got to invest in them. We got to make them successful, because this is how I tie the hub with one rental at a time. If it's not obvious, by focusing on Fresno, I can use my network. I have my relationships, my experience, my skill and history. We can make a difference. I could change people's lives. But let's be very clear. My goal of doing that is to document it and share it with the world so everybody else can use it. That's how I merge the hub and one rental at a time together. One rental at a time is coming up on 50,000 subs. We will do a party in Vegas, an event in Vegas. We will go to 100. We will go to 200, but it will be anchored on helping people in Fresno. I am disappointed with the lack of interest in agents coming to the hub, being a part of the hub. I just am. Part of that's on me. I've offered bounties and real cash. I will invest in with you. I will bring you on the channel with these calls. We will get you clients, but you've got to reach out to Ty. ty@tylg.com. I don't know what the problem is. We clearly have a success record and a lot of stuff. Ty, you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say, we have had a couple of people, someone that's somebody who's getting licensed, who's in the process. And in fact, I think you're acquainted with her. I think she was a guest on the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So she's
Michelle, I think. Yeah.
Michelle. She's awesome. So
I didn't know that. She didn't tell me. I didn't know.
Yeah. So she's in the process. She's an entrepreneur. She has other stuff going.
Yeah.
And then we did also have one other person reach out. And I'm going to say that, again, I was a Mike Ferry coach, a Tom Ferry coach for years. That's who I learned the business from. I am a leader within Pace Morby's sub 2 community, help out a lot in that community. I can definitely help you as a broker agent relationship. I can really help you not only grow your book of business with listings and sales and all of that, but also really the integration of a hybrid where you also
you're going to build your portfolio. The fact that real estate agents don't own more real estate should be seen as a crime, and we're going to fix that.
100%. Thank you, Michael.
You got it. Well, Carlos, we'll go to you next. You are once again, it seems like you're always at Home Depot. Do you have a standing reservation at 9 a.m. at Home Depot? What's going on? You're on mute, by the way.
I have here, and so I come in here all the time. Like cheers. I just want to go where everybody knows my name. Home Depot's.
Yeah, you are wonderful. And folks, if you don't know already, Carlos is somebody who does work for my projects. You've seen videos and walkthroughs and all this amazing stuff he's done. Carlos, people need to be reaching out to you in my network. I know they are. They send me texts in messages all the time. So thank you. But how would they do that if they wanted to start or get a quote or ask questions?
Definitely. You could always reach us out by phone, 559-681-8431, or you can also go online, make a work order for any small repairs at www.fresnohandyman.com. That's Fresno-handyman.com.
And just because I'm curious, what project do you have on tap today? Is that a fence or a deck you're building behind you? Because you're picking up some lumber.
Oh yeah, today we have a change of order. We have a client we're doing actually is a big fan of the one rental at a time. So yes, one rental at a time works, and so we're gonna be installing some bedroom doors. But we got in the area to be able to do that.
Very cool, Carlos. So I'm glad it's working out. Thank you for all you do for me. I'm so glad that others get to enjoy your quality work and customer service. So thank you for that. Yeah. So Adam and Patrick, we're going to come back to you. We're going to review two projects. One that went swimmingly, one not so much. And again, folks, one of the things I do on the Hub Call is we just talk about reality, real stuff, lessons learned. I want you to learn from my errors, my mistakes. All of the mistakes you are about to hear are mine and mine alone. As somebody who believes in extreme ownership, I think that's the book. That's how I roll. These are all on me. But Patrick and Adam, first we'll go to Patrick. How you doing?
Well, how are you guys?
I'm doing very, very well. And Adam, how are you?
Let me unmute. I'm good over here too. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. You two were paramount in me taking on a challenge last year, just to remind people. Right around Thanksgiving. Actually, I think it started just before Thanksgiving. I got annoyed with the Crash Bros. I got annoyed with Yahoo Finance saying 87% of people thought it was a bad time to buy. So on this channel, in this playlist called The Hub, I said, guys, let's go buy something and let's prove that you can make money by doing the work and knowing your numbers. Thankfully, you two found two deals. I believe the first one closed on Halloween. Then the second one was like, I don't know, late November. Do you guys happen to remember? I think it was late November. Does that sound about right?
Correct.
All right. So we're going to review those. The first one, which is called Michigan, which again, Adam, you were gracious enough to do walkthrough videos. Carlos did the work on it. You guys can go see it. It's awesome. The before, the afters, we've done pictures and videos. But here are the numbers, roughly speaking. And I'm going to pull out the HUD statements and all of this when I have time. But we bought for 203 grand. The unique feature of the property was a 4-car garage, and that proved to be a selling feature, right? At that price point, I think it was the only 4-car garage I had ever seen in Fresno, certainly Central Fresno. We put rough and tough about $46,000 into it. We had some insurance costs and other things outside of that. We sell it for $309. We pay out commissions and all of that. Long story short, in 89 days, purchase to close, we made about 30-something thousand dollars. Some of that's for my money costs, right? Because they were my money. I get paid that first. And then Adam and I split the profit on that, which was about 24-ish thousand bucks. So again, all in all, there was 30-some thousand dollars in profit. Some of that's returning my money plus interest. And then there was enough left over that Adam and I split that. So Patrick, actually we'll go to you first. Patrick, what is your summary of Michigan, right? In and out, what your feedback was from agents, the closing process, just general feeling on Michigan, how you found it, what we saw, all that stuff.
Right. Just as a quick correction, we actually sold it at 314, so not 309.
Oh,
so,
that's right.
Yeah,
The credit. That's
just a
right. We
quick
got a
detail,
5.
yep.
Okay. Thank you. I love that when
yep.
people correct me. Thank you for doing that.
No problem. Yeah. I mean, Adam had a great streamlined kind of scenario where he had one of his guys, VAs, kind of go through all the properties out there on Zillow, and in combination with what I saw on the MLS, called on them. And it was a numbers game. And we found somebody that was I don't know if desperate is the word, but they were tired.
They were motivated.
Yeah,
it was empty. Right. It was a problem.
What was it listed at, Patrick? What was it listed at when we offered?
269.
Let me just double check. It was listed at 20. No, hold on.
203 is what sold. Yeah.
Right.
But we bought it 70 grand, I think.
269. Yep.
Yeah, it was listed at, again, I want to be very clear. This is back to the Crash Bros. It was on the MLS. It was publicly available for every human being on the planet
270
to buy this deal. It wasn't some pocket listing. It wasn't some mailer bullshit. It wasn't some backroom deal. It was on the freaking MLS. And the reason it didn't sell was because the roof looked like shit. Go to my playlist called Property Walkthroughs. It was one of those stupid old shake roofs that looked horrible in the Fresno heat with all the things popping up. It looked like garbage. And that scares away mom and pop first time home buyers. It just
It was
does.
only on the market for 14 days.
But it was available to everybody.
Exactly.
And we bought it for almost $67,000 less than list price.
Correct.
Don't tell me doing the work doesn't work. Get off your lazy ass, make some disrespectful offers, and go figure it out. Okay. Adam, do you want to say anything else about finding it, working it, discussions? And then we're going to bring Carlos back on in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick has probably got yelled at a few times for making low offers like that, but it's worth it over time because we'll talk about more. We've bought, I think, 100 grand under list price.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of agents that might not want to hear that. So, I mean, no, you do have to go through that with whatever you're doing, whether you're talking to sellers directly or the agents. And then I know we talked about that being a more of like a light flip. We didn't remodel the whole thing, but the rehab was so expensive for people that don't know because we replaced a shake roof, and it's more expensive to demolish those and replace those than it is a regular. And we had that on top of the 4-car garage too.
Yeah, we basically covered 2 houses. That 4-car garage was legit 4 cars with a carport. That thing was a beast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's just bring a little context to the cost.
Yeah, but again, it wasn't anything crazy. It was just what drives me crazy is everybody thinks it has to be off market. You got to do mailers. You got to do this. You got to have a VA. You got to do no. It was on the MLS, and the pictures look like crap. And I'm like, damn right, we're gonna do this because I know how much it costs to tear down a roof. So let's bring Carlos back into it. So Carlos, we buy this. I turn it over to you immediately. Folks, if you don't know, there is this thing called 90-day FHA rule. So Carlos and I went through this property top to bottom, and I created 2 lists, A and B, 1 and 2, whatever you want to call it. I said, Carlos, we have to do these things. We're going to push these things off to later because I'm going to try to sell this to a conventional buyer. You remember those conversations, Carlos?
Yes, I did. I do remember the conversations we had. Phase 1, phase 2.
Yeah, that's what we called it. Yeah. So again, phase 1 from my memory ended up being the roof. Obviously, the roof had to be done. We did some kitchen painting, right? We painted the cabinets. We saved the cabinets. We did obviously clean. We ended up gutting the bathroom, right? I came on site and I'm like, I hate how this little shoebox of a stand-up shower looks. So I'm like, change order. Carlos is like, I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah.
But we ended up doing a change order. We gutted the bathroom, which was a little bit more than was supposed to be phase 2, ended up being phase 1. We did this awesome paint job. This white and black, folks, go to the playlist, property walkthroughs, and see the before and afters. We dressed up the outside fence because, again, for me, you've got to make the outside look good. And you will see this mistake in video in property number 2. The outside has to look good. So they stop and walk in. The fence, that little, I don't know, what was it, a 20-foot section, 25 feet, the little extra, shine we put on it. I think made all the difference in the world, right, Carlos?
It did. It gave you access to the back of the garages, the ones in the back, and yeah, it was a great project. Everything went smooth. The roof went smooth. The city was good about the roof.
Yeah, permitted, approved, all that.
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very cool. Well, that was the first project. Soup to nuts, great. From my perspective, I think I under budgeted. I think we spent about all in $4 or $5 grand more, like out of the gate. I didn't do the fence until I was on site. I did the change order. Nobody else did that. Right. So all that was on me. But lo and behold, it was sold to a conventional buyer. Again, it went in contract over asking. We did have a 5K credit, which got me the 309, which is why I remember 309. But yeah, if you go look at Zillow, it says 314. Soup to nuts, done deal. So Carlos, you crushed it. Thank you for allowing me to have my change order and be a pain in the ass and all that. So now let's switch to the second property we locked up. So the second property we locked up, I'll just call it Hanford for lack of a better name. Well, folks that don't know, the first project was in Fresno proper. It was probably 3 miles from the hub, right? It was in Fresno. This one's in Hanford. What would you guys say? 45 minutes down the freeway-ish? Right?
55, yeah, just about.
Yeah, 45, 55. It's a ways. And that's important, right? You guys have heard me on this channel talk with Jason Pritchard about him tightening his focus, his buy box. He probably would have wholesaled this one. I chose, because I was annoyed with Crash Bros, to take it on. Sometimes my ego gets in the way. And the reason that's important is I also took a month off, right? You guys may remember I was in Southeast Asia. My access was not always great. We were doing things over text. And I failed. This is 100% my failure to establish somebody on the ground in Hanford. I absolutely could have done that. You need to have somebody going by the project, right? One of the reasons the project in Fresno was great, not only do we have Carlos on site all the time, but Adam goes by, Patrick goes by. Every other day we're going here, and you guys are telling me what's going on. When I didn't prepare to have somebody in Hanford go by every 48 hours, that was my mistake. And frankly, I could have paid the neighbor. The neighbor is awesome. I could have paid the neighbor $100 saying, hey, you know what? Every 48 hours, give me a picture. Tell me what's up. Tell me what's missing. Tell me what's not clean. Because I love the double checking. So 100% my error. What were some things that were missed? For example, in the first bid was $40,000. It did not include the garage door. Now, again, unlike Michigan, which I went to once because we were doing an event, I would not normally have gone. I just was doing a Fresno event, so I did. I've never been to Hanford. I have no idea what's going on at the garage door. It should have been included in the first bid. It wasn't, which comes back to bite me later. Second, we ended up tenting the building, which is going to come back to save us in the long end, but we had an entire miscommunication. And why that was a problem is I inadvertently rushed Patrick to list on a Friday when the tenting occurred on a Monday. Wow. Because I failed to communicate or even understand that, we list a property, it's accessible for 2 days, and then for 3 or 4 days, nobody can get in. That is stupid. That is dumb. Don't do that. You're burning days. The property looks like it has problems when nobody can get in. Again, 100% my error, rush, miscommunication. Then we end up having to replace the garage door because I think a buyer says, really? You're going to sell this at 309 with a busted up garage? So we end up getting a quote. I hate it because we're redoing work, which really annoys me. We do it. Spend money, all that. Then, just again, a series of errors that I should have had somebody on the ground. The garage door guy does his job. But if you don't know, when somebody replaces a garage door, they kind of mess up the framing. And my great two-tone paint job and my black painted garage is now white. So now I have to go back. And oh, by the way, good news is we should be opening escrow today. But I'm spending money twice on the same shit, which really annoys me. All because Mike Zuber did not prepare to have somebody on the ground in Hanford, California. So folks, if you are going to flip out of market and you don't see your projects, get somebody in your network on the ground that can go by every 48 hours is my lesson learned from all of that. Patrick or Adam, you guys are involved in all of this. What do you want to say about this? I guess we'll go to Patrick first. Are we opening escrow today or we're not sure yet?
Good possibility that we will. We have 2 buyers that I feel really good about it. And if worst came to worst, we're going to have one that will net proceed just a slightly bit higher with a #1 position in the backup. So it's looking pretty good.
So we should be in escrow today. So let me walk through the net of all this. We list this property at 309 2 days after I'm out of the country. I feel really good about 309. However, all of those mistakes are happening and I don't know about it. So the property, we are asking peak prices, but the property's not in peak condition. We have errors. It goes by 2 weeks with nothing. I text Patrick from overseas, not knowing about my errors. Take it down 10 grand, 299. Activity goes off the charts. But again, the property's not in perfect condition. So we get a couple of offers, but they're at asking with credits. I am firmly convinced if I would have done a better job project managing this from afar, we would have gotten the 309 and certainly gotten the 299. But now we're going to take something less than that, probably 291, 292 net. That's on me. learn from my lessons. But net, I bought it for 175. Let's say we're into it 55, 58, something like that. After all things are said and done, still wildly profitable, still a great FHA home. I still feel good about it. I'm still learning after 22 years. Kind of my closing thoughts on that. Adam, you go to you. Say anything, lessons we've learned from all this?
Yeah, I think the lessons that I actually took from it, one, because I know we hadn't flipped for a little bit of time, or I hadn't been managing a project as frequently as I had, I think, prior to that, or maybe, I don't know, a few months, 6 months or so, to where I had done something and I had a system of doing multiple at a time. And so what I took away was, one, it's helpful to have the contractor assess the property versus just yourself. Because we looked at the garage and I'm like, well, it's flat. It's not dented.
It looks
cool.
good to me.
So, but it was really in bad shape. And so another thing is making sure that you don't line stuff up. It's very hard when you line stuff up right after one another without leaving any room for error, because when the tenting had to be rescheduled, that pushed a couple things back. And then because a grade wasn't done, Greg finished, but now there's wind, so they had to push back the tenting again, and that pushed back the garage guy and then Greg again. And so scheduling stuff out isn't always going to be perfect, obviously. And so another thing with this one is I know rehabs almost always go over. I think we budgeted about 40. Greg came in under 40, then he came up to 40. We had some extra inspection stuff. So I think we'd probably be all in around 50. So we went up 10 grand. We're probably we were aiming for around 280 or so. So we are slightly on track, but I think, it was interesting to see that when Patrick dropped it under the 300 mark, probably all the people that search up to 300, they don't search up to 315. They probably search up to 300, and that targeted a lot. That'd be my thought too.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Patrick, you want to say anything else about this one? And again, it's lessons learned are awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just lessons learned, and we'll be better on the next time around. So.
And let's be clear, at the end of the day, folks, we're probably still looking at 35-ish, 40-ish. So again, it's not like I'm crying a river. It's just, it could have been more. It probably, frankly, should have been more. And I own that error. It's always on me. With extreme ownership, you own it or not. So again, learn from my lessons. But at the end of the day, Patrick and Adam, I need more shit to buy. So where do we stand in all of that? Who wants to go first?
We need more off the MLS too. It's been tricky to find stuff. Patrick and I need to talk about the MLS thing and how we can automate that a little bit better too, or just find better results too, because I know it's been tricky and we've gone through a lot of the stuff that's been listed. So maybe a better follow-up system or having my team help.
It probably doesn't help that I keep screaming we can buy great deals on the MLS, because I have a lot of fans that are probably trying to buy in Fresno off the MLS because I keep telling them to do it.
That's true.
I'm creating my own
Your
competition.
fans only like Fresno. They only like, I say, what about Madera? They go, no. I don't, Mike's not mentioned Madera before. That's the forbidden land. So,
well, hey, just a secret. I buy in Madera. Just shh.
There you go.
I just told the world. Oh, that's funny. Well, yeah, folks, again, it's always a great time to do great deals. You must do the work. It helps to have a great and amazing team like we have at the Hub. If you want to come and be a part of this energy, you are licensed or getting licensed, you got to be a part of Ty's network. Ty, how should they reach out to you one more time?
ty@tylg.com. You can see it right here in the screen. ty@tylg.com. Send me an email, subject line The Hub, or subject line Fresno, or subject line let's make a lot of money, or subject line teach me how to get rich. Reach out, ty@tylg.com. We want to hear from realtors. If you're a realtor, if you're licensed already, if you're inactive, but you want to get active, or if you are new getting your license, reach out.
Let's rock. And Carlos, you do amazing work for me. You were the mastermind behind the wonderful flip at Michigan. People should go check out the playlist just to see the quality of work before and after. How would they reach out one more time? What's the phone number?
559-681-8431. That's 559-681-8431.
Thank you, buddy. And Patrick, you and I have a special project. We are trying to find an FHA buyer in Fresno, California that we want to interview. talk with and help them get their first deal. I see 3 interviews documenting that story. If somebody wanted to be a guest on this channel and share their story of buying an FHA home, the struggles, the stress, and ultimately the success, how would they reach out to you?
Yeah, you guys can visit my website, which has all my contact information on it, or I just created a new email address to keep it simple, vpatkim@gmail.com. Just reach out there, and I'd be excited to talk to you.
Awesome. And Adam, if somebody has a deal, a thought, a prospect, anything in Fresno, California that they would like one rental at a time, Mike Zuber to be a part of, you are my filter. You are the man for people to send deals to. How should they do that?
Just shoot me a text, 559-360-9622. It's the easiest way.
Folks, all of you
by
were
the way,
amazing. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask Ty what we might have planned for the that agent
Ooh.
training and stuff you got going, creative financing.
Yeah,
Sounds like
so-
something I'd be want to join and be a part of too.
You're
For
going to be
sure.
there. Yeah.
For sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I know that Adam had like put together an email list of local realtors in the Fresno market. And so obviously there's 2 ways. If you want to be in the masterclass, it's going to be a 5 or 6 week class. It's going to be geared toward realtors, you know, real estate agents, real estate professionals, and really teaching, connecting the dots. This is something that I noticed there's a lack of education. A lot of realtors don't understand creative finance. They don't understand seller financing or subject to financing. And if they don't understand it, it's like, number one, you're missing opportunities, but also, you know, a lot of times the frustration I hear from students, from normal civilian real estate investors, is that they try to talk to a realtor about, hey, what if we were to do a creative seller financing? And the agent's like, oh no, we can't do that. You can't do that. And so you can absolutely do those deals and get paid, but also too pick up some rentals and build your own portfolio in the process. So it is a tremendous opportunity. The reason why it's missing in the realtor community is because we haven't seen a market like this. This creative finance was invented in the late 70s, early 80s in a very similar market that we're in today.
Yep.
So because we haven't been in a market like this, I learned in the 90s from people who learned in the 70s and 80s. And so the truth is, if you're not 75, 80 years old realtor who survived and worked through the 70s and 80s, or a student like me who came in and got lucky and met some of the right people, you're probably not going to know this business. Or, with all due respect, I love Pace Morby has a great mentorship. Go buy his mentorship for $8 or $9 grand, 100%. And I'm happy to help you there. And all the people that are a part of Pace's mentorship are doing so well. But we're not here selling mentorship. What we're doing, the purpose of this call today, is we're building a community. And it's a Fresno-based community based on the hub, based on Michael Zuber's generosity, based on one rental at a time. And so it's going to be a 5-week, 6-week, and it'll depend on the content. I want to make sure to over deliver, but I'm going to take realtors and agents through A to Z, the contracts, the disclosures, how to talk to a seller, how to deal with the bank, how to deal with all of that, and setting up and how to do creative finance deals, subject to seller financing, and even lease options, wraparound mortgages. I'm gonna divulge all of that stuff for free. But again, I'm only making it available to the possibility people in the Fresno realtor community who potentially, you don't even have to commit. Come and just get to know us,
Give us
get
a
to
test
know
drive.
me. Yeah, test drive. And then at the very end, we'll have an altar call and say, hey, would you like to come and be a part of the hub, be a part of what we're doing, you know, come and be a part of our team. And so that's what we're doing. And so, Adam, I think with that list of realtors, the email list you have, that'll be part of it, because we'll do some email marketing with it. And then also too, just helping help run it, and that as your, contribution and everything that you do with the hub. And, so that's what I'm thinking.
All right, guys, we do
Awesome.
amazing stuff. This is the 30-minute call. I got to bounce to my next one. All of you have an amazing day. Keep rocking and rolling. Patrick, let's open escrow. Let's close it, make some money, move on to the next one. Bye, guys.
Great call. Thank you.
Sounds good.